You can earn $221,000 as a truck driver. Have you ever thought about making your living out on the open road? At some point, you might have asked yourself, how much money can I make working as a truck driver? Or would the income I make as a trucker be sufficient to take care of my family? If I drove trucks for a living, could I expect to get a low wage, or would I make up to $221,000 a year? Is it financially possible to become a full-time truck driver? Stay tuned, as today's video, we're going to do a comprehensive analysis on how much money you can make as a truck driver, and ways how you may increase your earnings and earn up to $221,000. A career as a truck driver. Let's take a look at the career of a truck driver. The amount of money you can make as a truck driver is contingent on a multitude of factors. There are further aspects to think about, such as the location of your home and the strategies that will help you maximize your potential earnings over the long haul. You might not be able to make $221,000 per year right away, but there is a huge demand for truck drivers, which means that if you have the proper training, expertise, experience, and company, you might make more than $300,000 per year. The kinds of jobs that let you drive throughout the country's huge network of highways and byways are the ones that are most desirable for truck drivers. Because there are so many different avenues to pursue, a profession as a truck driver is one that virtually anyone may pursue. It's anticipated that during the next 10 years, an additional 160,000 long-haul truck drivers will be required to keep up with the development of business and to replace those who decide to leave the profession. According to the American Trucking Association, the truckload market is unable to expand capacity as a result of the shortage of drivers, despite the fact that freight volume has increased. So, how can a driver make more money than the median salary? How is the pay for truck drivers calculated? And what other options do drivers have to land a well-paying job that also allows them to live comfortably? Truck driver earnings. First, let's take a look at some of the most fundamental statistics that this job sector has to offer. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is the government agency in charge of releasing information on job opportunities, heavy and trailer truck drivers in the United States earn an average of $180,310 per year, or $28.79 per hour in 2021. Over half of truck drivers made an annual salary of less than $50,000, while the other half had an annual salary of more than $100,000 on the low end. According to data compiled by Glassdoor.com from more than 56,000 individual income reports across the United States, the average starting wage for truck drivers is $64,283. That is as of December 2021. According to Indeed.com, truck drivers made an average of roughly $80,000 in May of 2022. The majority of the time, wage disparities may be attributed to a number of different reasons, the most common of which being who is supplying the information and what their degree of knowledge and level of experience is. If you are a truck driver, the amount of money you make will be directly proportional to the amount of time you have spent working in the industry, as well as the amount of experience you have behind the wheel. It is reasonable to anticipate that your starting wage will be low if you are just beginning your career as a driver. If you get your training and license from a trucking company, you can probably anticipate getting paid a certain amount each week. The majority of companies anticipate that you will put in around 50 hours per week when you're undergoing your initial training. After you've been given independence, the majority of firms will pay between 28 and 60 cents per mile. If you are just starting out as a truck driver, your best bet is to find employment with a smaller trucking company, which usually has better pay. The majority of trucking companies will give you a sliding pay plan after a year or 6 months of service, which will raise your income by 2 cents. After that, raises are frequently awarded on an annual basis for the remainder of the predetermined period of time, which is typically 3 years at a time. The highest paying jobs often require candidates to have a commercial driver's license, a certain amount of experience, and a few different endorsements. Now you may be wondering, is having a CDL necessary for landing a decent driving job? The truth is, an employer nearly always favors hiring a truck driver who possesses a commercial driver's license over hiring one who does not. Possessing a CDL gives you an edge in the job market. And guess what? If you are paid on a cost per mile basis, it is possible that your employer may provide you with a higher rate of pay in order to compensate for the fact that the nature of your job requires you to wait or cut your workday short on a frequent basis. Some examples of these types of bonuses include recruiting bonuses of up to $6,000, referral bonuses up to $2,000 per employee, and monthly or quarterly performance bonuses of up to 5 cents per mile. When an operation is halted or delayed, appropriate compensation is provided for the amount of time that must be spent waiting. Plans for medical, dental, and even other types of insurance are quite appealing. Earning potential is highly stable in the truck driving industry. There is a significant disparity in the average salaries that are earned by the heavy and tractor-trailer truck drivers in the United States, which does not appear to be related to the cost of living. If you want a career and you want to make the most out of your income, you should think about looking for work in a region of transportation hub that has a cheaper cost of living and greater earning potential. So, what are the most effective methods to increase your earnings as a truck driver? Expert truck drivers. Well, you're going to have to require past experience and a good work ethic in order to get hired for a job that pays well. A line haul trucker is responsible for transporting freight from one terminal to another, which might be over 1,000 miles away. On the other hand, intermodal drivers who make shorter trips earn around $15,000 less annually, but they get to return home at night and don't have to work on the weekends. Drivers who possess the necessary endorsements can generate additional income by transporting hazardous materials, if they want to do so. Examples of bulk liquids are gasoline sold at gas stations and the industrial chemicals used in factories. If you are transporting an item that is not typically carried, you may be able to earn anything from a few extra cents to several more dollars per mile. Heavy equipment transport trailers are utilized for hauling loads that weigh more than 80,000 pounds. The annual compensation for this role might range anywhere from $186,000 to $210,000 per year. Trucking on ice roads may be a potentially lucrative seasonal occupation for individuals who are up for the task and who are accustomed to operating vehicles in Arctic conditions. The oil and mining sectors provide large wages to workers in Canada and Alaska, where considerable earnings are given to drivers of ice trucks, who serve these workers with food, fuel, supplies, and equipment. Because these trucks have to drive over frozen rivers in order to finish their deliveries, this occupation is one of the most dangerous professions. The availability of these high-paying jobs is exceedingly limited. Therefore, only a select few people will be able to take advantage of it, even if they are highly sought after. It's also possible to achieve financial success in the transportation industry by minimizing expenses, such as those associated with fuel and hauling equipment, providing exceptional service to customers, and concentrating on the growth of the firm. Whether you work for a large or small firm, you can expect a similar volume of paperwork, as well as the same number of managers and coworkers that interact with you on a daily basis. It's possible that working at a huge company will make you feel more anonymous, but your behavior, attitude, and performance will still be evaluated based on how well you interact with others. Because you are always on the road, truck drivers have more opportunities than other workers to engage in conversation with customers and suppliers. Therefore, possessing people skills is an important must for any truck driver, regardless of whether you work for a large corporation or a startup that's family-owned. That's all we've got for today's video. So, are you interested in becoming a truck driver? What got your attention the most in this video? Let us know in the comments section below, and go through the channel for more videos just like this. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to keep it between the lines. Bye now.